Join me as I challenge myself to deepen my connection with Jesus through a week of intense prayer and reflection. Prayer is such a vital tool for deepening our connection with Jesus. It's a way for us to communicate with Him, to express our gratitude, our fears, our hopes, and our dreams. But often, we can get so caught up in our daily lives that we forget to prioritize prayer. We forget to take time to slow down, to quiet our minds, and to listen to His gentle whispers. Sometimes, we can get so caught up in our own thoughts and worries that prayer feels like a chore. We're like, okay, God, I've got to pray for this and that and the other thing, and before we know it, our minds start to wander. We think about what we need to do later, or what's for dinner, or what's going on in our personal lives. And before we know it, our prayer time is over, and we haven't even really connected with Jesus. I think we've all been there, where we feel like we're just going through the motions of prayer, but we're not really connecting with Jesus on a deep level. We're not really feeling His presence, or sensing His guidance, or experiencing His peace. And it can be so frustrating, because we know that prayer is supposed to be this powerful tool that helps us deepen our connection with God. But instead, it feels like a burden, or a chore, or something that we just have to get through. And then there are those times when we're struggling with doubt, or fear, or uncertainty. We're like, God, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why this is happening. And we can feel so disconnected from Him, like He's not even listening. It's a scary place to be, because we're used to feeling like we're connected to Him, like we're on the same page. But in those moments, it feels like we're lost, and alone, and adrift. One of the things that's helped me improve my prayer life is setting a routine. I know it sounds simple, but having a regular time and place to pray has made all the difference for me. It's not about checking a box, or going through the motions, but about creating a space where I can quiet my mind, and focus on Jesus. And I've found that using Scripture has been so powerful in helping me deepen my connection with Him. There's something about reading His words, and praying them back to Him, that just feels so intimate, and so real. Another thing that's helped me is incorporating different forms of prayer into my daily life. I love just talking to Jesus like He's my best friend, like we're hanging out, and chatting, and laughing together. But I also love using more contemplative forms of prayer, like Lectio Divina, or prayer journaling. It's amazing how these different forms of prayer can help us connect with Jesus on a deeper level, and can help us experience His presence in new and powerful ways. One of the most powerful prayer experiences I've ever had was when I was going through a really tough season in my life. I was feeling lost, and alone, and scared, and I didn't know what to do. And I just felt like God was silent, like He wasn't even listening. But I remember one day, I just cried out to Him, and I said, God, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why this is happening. But I trust you. I trust that you're good, and that you're working everything out for my good. And it was like this weight lifted off of me, and I felt His presence in a way that I hadn't felt it in weeks. In that moment, I realized that prayer isn't just about asking God for things, or telling Him what we want. It's about surrendering to Him, and trusting in His goodness, even when we don't understand what's going on. And it's about listening to His gentle whispers, and sensing His guidance, even when we don't feel like it. That's when prayer becomes more than just a routine, or a chore, or something we have to do. That's when prayer becomes a way of life, a way of connecting with Jesus on a deep and intimate level. So let's recap real quick. Prayer is a vital tool for deepening our connection with Jesus, but it can be hard when we're faced with distractions, or doubt, or feeling disconnected from Him. But by setting a routine, using Scripture, and incorporating different forms of prayer, we can improve our prayer life, and experience Jesus in new and powerful ways. And let's remember that prayer is about surrendering to Him, and trusting in His goodness, even when we don't understand what's going on. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. How has prayer impacted your connection with Jesus? What are some of your favorite forms of prayer? Let's continue the conversation, and encourage each other to deepen our connection with Him. And if you want to learn more about spiritual practices, and how they can help you deepen your faith, be sure to check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.